today we are going to do a review on the Crf 250L Rally. We both have 2017s and they are pretty darn awesome. They're like dirt road cruising machines, man. However, we're going to try and do a little extra with them. We're doing single track. Now, yeah, they're like made for the trail, but like this is some intense stuff. We're in Akeley, Minnesota on the Martineau
Right.
Yeah, Martineau Trail System in the Paul Bunyan State Forest. And so far, they're doing all right. You know, we can tell they're heavy, right? Like, I mean, I've crashed a few times today. Did you crash?
I've got 3 or 4 under my belt today.
Let it out! They're heavy bikes.
Yeah.
And they are like made of plastic. So we're gonna see how much plastic we can break today. And like,
I'm already winning.
What'd you break?
The windshield?
Oh yeah, he already broke his windshield.
Just amount, no plastic.
My plastic's already all smashed up from other trail rides, but we're gonna try it out. So today we're gonna talk about, I don't know, what's some technical stuff we can talk about?
So what I'd like to talk about is the gearing. How well is the gearing at slow speeds? What's the torque like? Careful for those, they jump out of nowhere.
Continue.
Balance. How easy is this bike to balance? It's a little bit wider than a moto bike, so we're gonna want to look at that, especially through some of this technical stuff.
Yeah.
Weight, which we've already experienced today.
They are heavy.
Yeah. For a 250, I think the dry weight's like 320 something pounds, 325 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's not a moto bike. It's pretty heavy. They're a bigger bike.
It's got a steel gas tank.
It does.
For gosh sakes.
It does.
3
Suspension.
3 gallon tank.
2.7.
2.7.
And that is, I believe, 0.2 above the predecessor, the 250L.
Yeah. And
So,
at 6.2 pounds per gallon of fuel,
adds up.
that's some math there. You can figure that out.
Yeah. Don't have paper here.
No.
Yeah.
I don't have the fingers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Other thing we're going to talk about is suspension. These bikes are set up a little bit softer, more so tailored, would you say, more dirt road cruising
Yes.
kind of stuff?
They are like Cadillacs on
They're-
dirt roads.
they're-
Amazing. It's
They're
like
cush.
the best dirt road cruiser. The fuel economy is nuts. It's just sips fuel and it's just, like I said, just like a Cadillac, just floating.
Pumping along.
Yep. Top speed on pavement is like 82 miles an hour.
When you're really pumping it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about the modifications we have on them already that kind of differ from maybe a stock one?
Yes.
All right.
Here we go. All right, let's run through Nathan's bike. What do you got?
All right, so outside of the stock bike setup, what we've done is we've coupled it with Dunlop D606s, front and rear.
Let me show you the tread on there.
So the stock tire you'll get on these bikes is, I believe, an ITP or an ITR trail. Decent tire, more tailored toward road. These are a pretty meaty DOT approved tire. Outside of that, what we've done, I did upgraded grips from the factory ones, and then we have also added bark busters. Today you'll see us using these guys a lot.
Yep, you already got yours all dinged up a little bit.
Yep.
And mine have got some serious rash on them. I've had these on there for a couple years now, so they're all banged up. Anything else you did to your bike? Oh,
Outside of that,
crash bars.
yep, we did the crash bars on this one.
On yours, yep.
And then both of us have the FMF Q4 exhaust.
Yeah, fires up quick so I can hear it. Sounds way better than the stock.
You can actually hear your RPMs.
So before it was just like a little whiny regular exhaust. You hear more of the whine from the motor than the actual like thumping. And you got to have that when you're riding on like trails and stuff. You got to be able to hear, at least I do. I want to be able to hear like where I'm at.
Yep.
So on mine, I didn't do nothing crazy. You know, I got the bark busters. I got heated grips because I ride a lot in the fall and the spring. These Oxfords, they're amazing. They automatically shut off, so if I like have it on and I stop riding, there's a little vibration sensor inside there, and then it'll automatically put it in a power save mode and then actually shut it off if I forget, and I forget all the time. So that's nice. And I don't know, I'm running Dunlop D606s on mine too. Love the tire. I am running the blinker mod, the blinker shortening mod.
That's strictly custom.
Yep, I did that on a tree here. I'm running lighter plastics. These are actually Invisiplast. A company in out of Georgia makes them.
You actually made those ones. Those are mock-ups, aren't they?
Yeah, I made them. That's basically it. You know, they come with standard awesome foot pegs. Oh.
Yeah, outside of that, the only other thing that we had talked about doing that we'll probably do here in the future is different bars. They come stock with a 7/8 inch steel bar. With aluminum, you can bounce back a little bit.
Yep.
Not with the steel. You get a little bend action.
I'll show you some bends. Ready? Here we go. Bend. And somewhere around here is another bend. But like here's the major one. Aluminum. Pretty soon. All right, enough talk. Let's ride.
Hey, we're professionals. Don't try this at home. You might get hurt.
It's steep here. You guys can't tell how steep this is, but my gosh, it's steep.
Do you see that wheelie over the top?
All right, first two topics are what?
Gearing
Gearing
and balance.
and balance. So let me tell you my perspective on the gearing. So I'm going about 20 miles an hour, I'd say. Well, 15 to 20. And I'm in second gear, and most of the time I've noticed that I've been paying attention to what I'm doing. And a lot of times I don't even use the clutch. Like on some of these tight turns, I just keep the clutch out and I just like let it lug. It's like, but sometimes if it's like sandy, I'll pop it to get the rear end to swing around. And then, but I don't know. That's where I'm at. With gearing. Where are you at?
So I'm a little bit different. I like running first. You do have it winding up, but you have that torque immediately when you want it. This first gear is really short in this bike, but it is pretty torquey from my perspective.
Do you find yourself flipping in a second a lot?
I will. If we get a longer straight or a bigger open area, I'll flip it into second. I get a little bit twitchy with the clutch, playing with the clutch a little when I'm in second. I don't like to let it lug that low, but if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, maybe I'm just lazy. I don't like to switch between first and second. I just like keep it in second and just let her lug and pull me out of that corner. Suspension, it's with such a heavy bike in these tight turns, a few times I noticed, and it's like you go into a turn and the suspension compresses down because it's so heavy, and I'm 200 pounds. What are you?
About 180.
180, okay, 200, 180. Then when it comes out of the turn, it seems like it preloads a lot and it like springs me into the next one. So I find myself counteracting that a lot and like getting the steering wheel or the handlebars like kinked the other way right away, just anticipating that. And on a lighter bike, I don't think you'd have much of that. So it's a lot of work. What are you finding?
About the same. Yeah. It does, that sponginess kind of makes it less predictable. So yeah, I mean, you gotta kind of plan for it when you can. Outside of that, I mean, if it were a little stiffer, it'd be easier to plot your path and know how it was going to react.
Yeah, and I bottom out all the time, and I got my preload spring cranked all the way tight. Where's I think
same here.
Yeah, you got the same thing. Front end bottoms out all the time. Rear end bottoms out, not all the time, but quite a bit. If I hit a big like jump or whatever, I'll bottom it out. But I don't know, you just gotta mess with the throttle and keep that front end up, and it's doable. We're doing it.
Yep.
You know, it's
just a little bit more work.
Yeah, these bikes are great so far.
Well, we'll get back to riding here and touch base on the other topics when we get to our next stop.
Let's do it. That was a steep hill. Luckily, nothing broke on my bike, but I do feel bad about this. This poor tree. Smashed her right there. I'll just bandage it up a little bit. She's good. So what happened was that big rock back there smashed into this dude and pushed it too far in. So we're gonna fix that quick. Stand by. And we're live. Here's what we're gonna do. Get out the toolkit, assess the problem, which is that little dude, stopping it from coming forward. Now, screwdriver too big, I think. Need a hammer. Need a rock. Definitely bent the whole thing. So what we're gonna do is we gotta bend this tab in. So I'm gonna take the linkage off, smash it with a rock, put it back on, and keep ripping.
We might need to do some straightening on this. That's probably more of our problem.
Fixed.
Trail fixes. So got that put back on. Looks like we might just need to tweak it a little bit more forward. We should be good to go.
Back in business. Let's ride. Wow! Blockbuster saved me again. what is our next topics?
Horsepower
And weight. Horsepower and weight. How much horse do these have?
24.4 horses.
That's a lot of horses. That's
That'll get you scooting.
yeah. If they were all in a string. No, never mind.
That's
Cut.
a long
Okay.
string of horses.
Anyway, weight on these things is about 350 pounds. That is a lot of weight for a dirt bike. But with the 24 horses, they tug it along just fine. So I don't know. I think there's an average or like an adequate amount of power, and the weight is a little bit too heavy for doing like this kind of stuff. You don't notice it if you're just like cruising down the dirt road, which is what you're going to be doing anyway with these things.
But today we're trying to balance them and get them through tight corners and stuff like that. You really notice that extra weight.
And it's doable. Like, we can do it. Like, if you're going to buy this bike and you think you're going to take it on some trails, you can do it. But is it like the best dirt bike for trails? No. You're buying a dang dirt road cruiser anyway. Like, that's why you're getting. So, I don't know. They can do it. So if you have buddies that go out on trails and you want to ride around the dirt roads most of the time and every once in a while hit the trails, yes, you can. And it's awesome. So
there you be.
There you go. That's our review.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Any closing comments?
I'm out.
I always get the last word.